What's up, guys? Barry Game here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today we're going to be talking about the Transition Temple because, well, as these events go on more and more, you'll see more of these things lighting up around here, including the two up higher. And that really comes down to your actual temple level. It's really nice to have a spot where you can just go in and see where you get things because we have temple level 4. We're actually currently getting a +2 divine power, which is why, even though this is the first tier where you normally see a 1-star, you see them at 3 stars right here. And you can see there is a limit to how many of each tier you currently can have, being 1 at the core. And what we're going to talk about today is how you get a Polystar, and more importantly, how you get to Nirvana, because getting to Nirvana is how you are going to unlock the highest. Actually, no, I don't even think you need to get Nirvana. You need 1 Nirvana, you need temple level 10, and that is the big stretch here. And yes, it goes well beyond that, all the way up to 16. So let's jump right into it. Let's talk about what it actually takes to get this far. So as you can see right here, the first time that you can get to that Nirvana, that DT6, and what we're going to do is Destiny Transition 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how we're kind of talking about them. DT6, Destiny Transition 6 is all the way down here, temple level 10. And in order to get there, it's going to cost a lot of resources. It is also going to give you +6 divine power. So that hero is going to actually have a divine power of 12 because they're going to be DT6 +6. So it's going to be an extremely powerful hero when we're talking about this right here. If we're talking about content that you're going up against that doesn't have any divine power gap, then you're doing a crazy extra amount of damage. But you're also going to see enemies with higher and higher divine powers, and the gap is going to calculate and all that fun stuff. And in the meantime, well, we have 1 hero here at core maxed out. I do believe there are people that have Polystar unlocked, and if we do take a look one more time here, to get 1 to Polystar, you only have to have temple level 7. I think people are getting really close to that. Me personally, I need to finish leveling up my Lord of Fear Aspen's level so that he's core level 100, and then once he does that, we can up it. And as you guys can see, it ups all the different capacities in all these different areas. And I don't even think for me going to level 5, no, we have to go all the way to 7 to get 1 Polystar, and then all the way down to 10 to get that Destiny Transition power, because it is a very important thing. Because as you guys know, these skills here change from their original iteration to a much more powerful version when you get here. It basically makes it do like sometimes 2 to 3 times more damage. So it is a huge important thing to go for. But really the big question is how much Spirit Vein, how many Stellar Shards, how many resources does it take to get a Destiny Transition 6 hero? Well, let's talk about what it takes to get to temple level 10, because that's kind of like the first thing we need to talk about. How to get to this and how much it's going to cost and how long is that going to take. So one thing I want to talk about is the cost just from going from 9 to 10 is pretty insane. Let's just talk about this. So you can see what it takes here. You need unique heroes required. You need 7 different heroes, because you need a hero at like Polystar, you need 2 at a lower rank, you need 4 at a lower rank. You need them across a certain number of levels, because as I talked about here with these upgrades, you can see right here, for me to go to 4 to 5, I need 2 at Origin, 1 at Surge, 1 at Chaos, and I'm gonna need 1 at Core. So it's not like just having 1 hero at the correct level is necessary. You need it across a lot of heroes. What that also means is you need 28 cores of Origin, so you have enough noble cores, because each one of these heroes needs a noble core. That means it's 4 cores combined to make a noble core. Beyond that, you of course need all these other resources: sublimation for the actual branches because they have to be fully sublimed, spiritual essence because they need to be all the way maxed out to level 120, stellar shards, you need V4, you need tree, you need the resource. I mean, you just use stellar shards just for the Destiny Transition leveling as well. And you guys can see the amount of craziness this actually entails. You need 53 million, over 53 million crystals of transcendence for this too. That's enough to have like 10 heroes. So 7 of it goes here plus even more, which is just crazy because it's 5 million per hero. 7 transcendence heroes, of course. The big thing here is these numbers at the bottom. So that is 8.5 million Spirit Vein. If you guys remember, most of these big events, we are only getting like a 400,000 and a 200,000. So every month we're getting somewhere probably between like 600 to a million, somewhere in that ballpark, depending on if we have one or multiple events that are offering Spirit Vein as rewards, because as you guys see, not every event does. And then on top of that, the Aurora gems, 217 of them, which as you keep going up in levels to break them through the next level goes from 7 to 8 to 9 to 10 to 11. It just keeps going up through the roof, and I can imagine what it would be to get a Destiny Transition 10 hero. But based on all the data mine information that Lexi's had, the 2C bot has gotten, this is essentially what is going to be needed, which is just absolutely insane. Because at least as far as I know, that's just what you need to go from like 9 to 10 technically. A lot of this is like the precursor stuff, but like this is pretty much what you need to get your heroes up to the 10th level. And that's just a crazy amount of resources. Now, how close are we to that? The short answer, not really that close. I think even the biggest of whales are still like at least 6 to 9 months away from getting their first Destiny Transition 7. This is the highest I've gotten mine. I have not done every event though, so that's why we are a little bit behind other people. Hopefully in the events to come in the future, we can push this even further, because I do know there are people that are at level 5 right now and are pushing, I think, up to level 6. I think that's where they're at. And yeah, it's kind of crazy that that's the situation. Even for me, like, we don't even have enough of these to do much of anything because we're at level 5. Even if we could get him higher right now, we couldn't break him through to the next level if we wanted to. It would, however, give us the next temple level, which would give another divine power to everybody, which would be cool. To also let me take a second hero, which would mean a Doom Terminator Vulcan up to the next tier. But as you guys can see, spreading the resources then, because then if you really take a look at all these heroes down the bottom, they're all Origin, well, not all of them. A couple of them are still Origin 1. They're not at the cap, and eventually we are going to have to level those up too. We can't just keep focusing on the main heroes, because in order to get, again, like I said, the Destiny Transition Temple up to the next tier, you need the lower tiers to be at like level 100. So the 2 heroes that we have at Origin 1, level 1, don't count. They have to be Origin level 100. So it's going to be pretty insane. We'll have to see how this works out, but it's a long road. Again, you're probably going to see the first hero like Rex and stuff like that might get their first Destiny Transition hero in about half of a year. We'll have to see when that happens, and it'll be pretty insane to see what the damage looks like at that case, because it's like pretty much whale only. It also really depends on how much more content we get in the Void campaign as far as the bosses. As you guys saw, the Chapter 2 boss was like super easy. The Chapter 1 still very difficult. We'll have to see how the Chapter 3 is, Chapter 4 eventually, and we'll have to see if we get any of those resources, mainly the Scattered Spirit Vein, anywhere else besides the Auto Battler. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this, and let me know what you guys think. Let me know how long you think it's going to take for us to get there, even for the biggest of whales. See you guys next time.